Bitcoin and Ethereum, Technical Analysis October 27, 2022. Finally, action again. Recently, it has become almost boring for crypto standards. In the past 2 days, however, there was movement in the market again, in the course of which Bitcoin and, above all, Ethereum showed themselves to be much more agile again, on the upside. Bitcoin recently climbed around 10%. In the course of this, the crypto leader also exceeded the last relevant high, of October 5th. This of course moves our alternative, which is already weighted at 40%, further into focus. However, if Bitcoin really wants to do without a new absolute low, it must not be torn down under any circumstances, means, it must continue to rise. However, as long as the price has not pushed sustainably above the resistance lines, at $22,802 and $24,693, outlined on the alternative chart, we must continue to primarily assume that Bitcoin will still shift the previous correction low of $17,689 southwards. For the expansion of the associated wave, 2, in yellow, the course can fall back on the entire depth of the blue target zone between $17,572 and $10,919. Ethereum has climbed more than 20% in the chart over the past few hours. As stated, we now view the major blue wave, 2, outlined on the 4-hour chart as primarily complete. You can see, from our details chart, which route we now primarily expect, so we now assume that Ethereum has completed the turquoise waves, 3 and 4, and is currently already dedicated to the wave of the same color, V, which we see the price completing along with the parent wave 3, in green in the green target zone, between $1,551 and $1,666. This should be followed by a smaller countermovement, which Ethereum should work off within the lower small green target zone, coordinates, $1,484 to $1,405. From there, according to our primary expectation, we continue north. Where is the next destination here? Let's take a look at the 4-hour chart for this. We primarily assume that the price should sustainably leave the resistance line at $20.29 behind, in order to establish an intermediate high in the blue zone on the upside, coordinates $3,048 to $3,756 in the form of the wave 3 of the same color. But what this chart also shows, as part of a small alternative, it could briefly go below the support at $1,194 again, in the run-up to the described increases. Furthermore, our bearish alternative scenario remains absolutely relevant. This would activate if Ethereum breaks significantly below the corrective low marking support at $883. For the moment, we certify such a sell-off as having a probability of at least 35%. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.